The papacy has long been seen as a beacon of faith and moral authority, a throne meant for men of prayer, humility, and wisdom. But history is rarely so pure. Hidden beneath the grandeur of St. Peter's and the solemnity of sacred rituals lies a shadowed past, an era when the papal crown was less a symbol of holiness and more a weapon of power, corruption, and fear. There were popes who lived like kings, who feasted while the poor starved, who sold forgiveness like a marketplace commodity. Others ruled like warlords, drenching Europe in blood for the sake of power. And then there were those whose sins were so shocking, orgies in the papal palace, political assassinations, and deals with the devil of greed, that they left scars on the church that can still be felt today. This is not a tale of saints, but of wolves in priestly robes. These are the 10 most ruthless and scandalous popes in history, from the treacherous schemers to the truly depraved. Prepare yourself. This is the side of history the Church would rather you forget. 10. Pope Urban VI, 1378 to 1389. Pope Urban VI started his papacy with high hopes of reform, but quickly became one of the most feared popes of his time. Known for his uncontrollable rage and paranoia, he often lashed out at cardinals and advisors, accusing them of conspiracies. Urban's cruelty was legendary. He is said to have ordered several cardinals tortured and killed for plotting against him. His aggressive nature and refusal to compromise sparked the Western Schism, a period when multiple men claimed to be pope, tearing the Catholic Church apart. Urban VI's reign was defined by fear, bloodshed, and political chaos, leaving behind a legacy of division and brutality. 9. Pope Leo X, 1513 to 1521. Pope Leo X, born Giovanni de' Medici, was a man of wealth, luxury, and scandalous indulgence. Coming from the powerful Medici family, he treated the papacy less like a sacred office and more like a royal court. Known for his love of art, banquets, and extravagant parties, he drained the church's treasury in pursuit of grandeur. To refill the coffers, Leo X authorized the sale of indulgences, a move that outraged many and directly inspired Martin Luther's 95 Theses, igniting the Protestant Reformation. He once allegedly remarked, "God has given us the papacy, let us enjoy it." His papacy is remembered as one of decadence, corruption, and the beginning of the Church's most famous crisis. 8. Pope John XXIII, Antipope, 1410 to 1415. Not to be confused with the modern sainted Pope John XXIII of the 20th century, this antipope was one of the most corrupt church leaders in history. Born Balthazar Cosa, he climbed his way to power through political scheming, intimidation, and outright violence. His reputation was stained by shocking accusations, murder, rape, sodomy, incest, and the selling of church offices for profit. Even his contemporaries called him the scoundrel of the church. Eventually, his misdeeds caught up with him, and the Council of Constance deposed him, exposing his disgraceful rule. His name remains a dark mark on the papal lineage. 7. Pope Stephen VI, 896 to 897. Pope Stephen VI is remembered for one of the most bizarre and macabre events in papal history, the Cadaver Synod. In a fit of vengeance against his predecessor, Pope Formosus, Stephen had Formosus's corpse exhumed, dressed in papal robes, and placed on a throne to stand trial. The dead pope was accused of crimes, found guilty, and his body was mutilated, fingers cut off, and the corpse thrown into the Tiber River. This shocking spectacle horrified the people of Rome and led to riots. Stephen's reign, dominated by madness and cruelty, ended with his imprisonment and violent death by strangulation. His papacy remains one of the strangest and darkest chapters in Vatican history. 6. Pope Clement VII, 1523 to 1534. Pope Clement VII, another Medici pope, is often criticized for his political scheming and disastrous leadership during one of the Church's most turbulent eras. He was indecisive, cunning, and more concerned with maintaining Medici power than guiding the Church spiritually. His shifting alliances in European politics, especially between France and the Holy Roman Empire, led to the catastrophic sack of Rome in 1527, where imperial troops brutally looted the city, killing thousands and humiliating the Church. His failure to handle the rise of Protestantism only deepened the Church's crises. Clement VII's papacy is remembered as a time of chaos, greed, and ruin for the Vatican. 5. Pope Innocent VIII, 1484 to 1492. Pope Innocent VIII's reign was marked by scandal, corruption, and brutality. He openly acknowledged having illegitimate children, a shocking act for a pope, and used his position to secure them wealth and power. He is most infamous for his witch hunts, authorizing the publication of the Malleus Maleficarum, a gruesome manual on identifying and torturing alleged witches. This fueled mass hysteria and the deaths of countless innocent people across Europe. His papacy also saw rampant nepotism and political manipulation, turning the Vatican into a family power seat rather than a spiritual institution. Innocent VIII's rule left a dark stain on Church history, remembered more for cruelty and greed than faith. 4. Pope Alexander VI, 1492 to 1503. Pope Alexander VI, born Rodrigo Borgia, is perhaps the most infamous pope in history. His papacy was riddled with corruption, nepotism, and scandal. He shamelessly used the Church's power to advance the wealth and influence of the notorious Borgia family, particularly his children, Cesare and Lucrezia. He was rumored to host debauched parties at the Vatican, including the infamous Banquet of Chestnuts, where courtesans and cardinals engaged in shocking acts of immorality. Alexander VI also engaged in political assassinations and ruthless alliances to strengthen his power. His reign turned the papal court into a place of fear, greed, and indulgence, forever tarnishing the Church's reputation during the Renaissance era. 3. Pope Julius II, 1503 to 1513. Known as the Warrior Pope, Julius II was less a spiritual leader and more a ruthless military commander. He personally adorned armor and led papal armies into battle to expand the papal states, prioritizing political power and territorial control over the Church's spiritual mission. Though he commissioned great works of art, like Michelangelo's painting of the Sistine Chapel ceiling, his papacy was dominated by war, bloodshed, and intrigue. Julius II's ambition and authoritarian style earned him fear and resentment, making him one of the most controversial popes of the Renaissance era. 2. Pope Benedict IX, 1032 to 1048. Pope Benedict IX is often described as one of the most corrupt and scandalous popes to ever sit on the papal throne. Appointed while still a teenager, he treated the papacy as his personal playground, indulging in murder, theft, adultery, and other immoral acts. His behavior was so disgraceful that even his contemporaries called him a demon from hell in the disguise of a priest. In one of the most shocking episodes in papal history, Benedict literally sold the papacy to his godfather, Gregory VI, before later reclaiming it. His reign is remembered as one of the lowest points in the Church's moral history. 1. Pope John XII, 955 to 964. Pope John XII is widely regarded as the most corrupt and depraved pope in history. Ascending to the papacy as a teenager, he turned the Lateran Palace into what many described as a den of vice. He was accused of gambling with church offerings, committing incest, murder, and even invoking pagan gods for luck. His reign was so scandalous that even loyal churchmen called for his removal. John XII's life ended as disgracefully as he lived. He was allegedly killed by a jealous husband who caught him in bed with his wife. His papacy remains a shocking reminder of how low the papal office once fell.